Okay, when you talk about Snowflake becomes one of the main uh, uh, domain for me, and one of the main tool what I'm working on in the recent years. So maybe you can say 2 years at least, because in the last 2 years, it's a very great boom was there in the market, particularly for Snowflake, right? So they have their market price itself have increased multifold, right? So their share market, everything else has been increased. Snowflake, because it deserve it, right? So Snowflake is a very nice tool actually to learn for. Okay, so for freshers as well as for experienced people also, right? Because a lot of people who have implemented the data warehouse system in their organization, so they are just migrating into cloud. And when they see that what is the best tool available today in the market, means it's Snowflake. Everyone is pointing out to Snowflake. So Snowflake is going to play a very big role in the market in the future. Okay, so you would have heard about Salesforce and all, right? So for kind of SAP for enterprise ERP, right? Enterprise resource planning. So similar to that, Snowflake is going to play in another two years nearly, not more than that. So it's going to become a very big thing here, right? So even if you take myself, so I finished my colleges in late 80s. Okay, so in computer science only. Okay, so that time, what was the technology was there? If I am just sticking on in with that only, so I cannot survive today in IT. You know that, right? So IT, every few years you have to upgrade yourself, right? You need to update yourself. You need to upgrade yourself also, right? So that's the thing, very important in IT field. So I keep on updating myself, and when I enter into the training I have entered into some 11 years before. So the training also is a challenging one, so you have to keep yourself updated, right? So when you are working on some kind of a development or like an admin role you are taking, means you will be focusing on only a particular a portion of any tool or any technology like that, right? But when you are going to be a trainer, you need to be well versed with every kind of nook and corner. You need to know about that particular tool. So that helped me to understand things more, right? So I was working on Informatica some 15 years before and all. But when I become a trainer, so I learn more on Informatica. So that's the thing. The training is opening a lot of doors to us. Okay, fine. So why I'm telling you this? So I will choose some technology which is going to emerge in future anytime when I want to switch over. So that time I chose this Snowflake some 3 years before. So today I'm not regretting for my choice, right? Similar to that, some of the tools I have chosen sometime earlier, but that was not booming up that much. So it doesn't have any that much value. They have not increased that value, right? But Snowflake, so tremendous growth actually it is. Okay, fine. So that is the first thing I want to tell you about. So because I have learned this 3 years before, I'm having an advantage. So almost every day I'm doing training on Snowflake every day, right? So very few times I will be having opportunity to work with individuals like you people. But most of the time 95% at least I work with corporates, right? So most all known corporates, I'm just working with them, fine. Okay, so I do some kind of a consulting also. So mainly Informatica Power Center is the main thing. I do consulting, as well as IBM Cognos. So that is one more tool I worked on, and I was part of IBM training some years before. So I'm still working on that, right? So now I moved on into Snowflake, and I have done some consulting on Snowflake also in some small projects. So that is the kind of thing about myself. Okay, that is enough. I don't talk more about myself again. So now when you see these things, so first we see the course contents. Okay, so these are the course content I have been developing for each and every type of client, right? So initially, sometimes some years before, Snowflake is a very new tool. They don't know what to be expected. So whatever I'm segregating, so how I will do all these content is I will be taking a clue from the Snowflake University, right? So Snowflake University is providing training, but that's they charge our 1 year salary or my 1 year salary or something like that. That much the charges they will do. So I will take some clue from them. So what topics to be included and how to do it and all. And then out of my experience, I redesign them, right? So what is required in the market, right? So different type of people are coming. So what are the other topics we need to include and all, and how to make them useful by adding more and more hands-on examples, right? So because I have been taking training on ETL and BI data warehouse earlier. So based on that, I have created some kind of my own exclusive hands-on materials, right? So that also I have done it. So that's the thing, right? So that is how it's been designed. So my training is mostly 80% at least. It will be hands-on. It will be practical oriented, right? So I will be showing the tool, how you will be working on the tool in real time. So that is how I will be showing you every time when I do it, right? Because Snowflake is a very new technology actually. For even if you have worked on data warehouse, it's going to be a lot of things are new here, which we have not seen so far. So we need to have some theory also, right? So we need to have some theory also to work on that one. So people who don't have a database background, SQL, they have not at all executed any SQL queries and all. So they require to do that one, right? So some of you are very, I think Chandra, right? So you are very new to this one. Means what you have to do is you need to learn SQL also. Okay, so we can conduct a training for that also separately. So before coming here, because along with the Snowflake, if you are learning SQL, that's not going to be a proper one, right? So that's not good. Because see, when you are learning driving, normally every driving school they will be having some kind of small car only, right? So we have to learn from that. Once we learn all those technique and everything together, then we can move on to something like Mercedes Benz or Ferrari, something high-end cars, right? So that is the kind of thing I can compare. So many database tools, any relational database. So we have to try it out. Okay, I can guide you how to do those things and all. Then we come back here. Parallelly, you can learn also. Okay, parallelly also you can learn. Or first you put some 1 hour, 1 week or something like that to learn those things, and you can come back. Okay, fine. That's the thing. Now, what we see here in Snowflake, right? So this is what my latest content, September, I'm just working on this content now. So first I will give an introduction to cloud data warehousing. Okay, because two terms are coined together here. One is cloud, another one is data warehouse. So you need to know about cloud, how the cloud is working on, to understand how Snowflake is working. Okay, so that's it. So you don't need to have become a cloud services, cloud computing expert and all, right? Not required. Just to know the basics of the cloud. So that I will be providing it in one single session. But more than cloud, what cloud is working in the background, right? So that is not we are going to work in the cloud. We are working in the cloud, but it is not required. You should understand about cloud to work on that one, right? So it is been running in the background, right? Just you know, understand that how that is how the technology has been implemented. That's what you. That's all is what you call required, right? But very much important is the data warehouse concepts. Okay, so data warehouse concepts is very important because where you are going to apply is in some data warehouse environment, right? So you need to know about what do you mean by data warehouse, how it is different from a database if you have worked on databases, right? So you need to know about what is staging. This means what is an ETL and what kind of model a data warehouse will be using on, right? So traditional data warehouse system and everything else. So these are the things we need to understand. So I will give you a small overview about all these stuff initially, right? So then we will be learning about the key concepts of Snowflake. So what are the key concepts we have, right? So right from the history of Snowflake and how the Snowflake, what type of architecture Snowflake is following, how it is different from others, why it gives a better performance, right? So what makes it to give a far better performance? Really, okay, it's not just words I'm telling. Really, it gives a far better performance than any other tool normally. So how it is possible, right? And also it is cost effective. Snowflake is, right, compared to many other tools. It is cost effective also. So how these things can possible by the Snowflake? So I really, when I was learning Snowflake, really I got amazed about these people, how they created this kind of tool, right? An excellent tool actually, they have done it. Okay, you also will be admiring them. Then about the fundamentals of Snowflake. So how to connect with Snowflake, what type of account editions are there, right? And how you will register with them. So you can register with Snowflake freely, right? It will provide a trial version. So how to do those things. So that and all we will be seeing over here. And what are the objects inside Snowflake? Even though it is like a very similar to a database. So it has a database, it is having schema, table, view, procedures, functions, right? Very similar to that. But apart from that, Snowflake is having some other objects which you can see only on Snowflake. Exclusively, you can see in Snowflake. So those things we are going to see that how these things are working, right? And what properties they have and how to configure them. Okay. So that and all we will be seeing over there. And about loading data, little bit of the ETL part, and how you manage data externally, how to handle semi-structured data, right? So a lot of things are there. You can see that one once we are going for that one. So it is a kind of a mixed thing about developer. Mostly it is based on developer wise, but a native admin also it is present, right? So why I am giving an admin also here is uh, these when you are going to try with some kind of uh, what do you call some kind of a what do you call certification, right? So Snow Pro core certification. So this course will be helpful for you because in the certification they are not just testing your developer skills and all, they will test your admin skills also, right? Skills means it's a very basic certification actually. If I show you, you will be knowing about that. It is not like any other tool. Like they will be asking even initial certification also. They ask most twisted questions and other things and all. This is a very simple kind of exam actually. You have to write it, right? So, but for that they will ask the almost the entire tool. They will be covering up. Okay, so they will all are small questions only, but they will be asking everything together. So developer as well as admin, both part are required here. Okay, so that's the way it goes. So we will be doing it. So I have created one hands-on, so it will help you. This hands-on, you can see that one. I'll give you the exact queries also, and I will give step-by-step information also. What to be created, what objects to be created, and which of them you have to execute, and what is the purpose. A small definition about that, right? So why we create this and why we do this one. Okay. So I have created exclusively many kind of these things. You can see that one. So I have created with the necessary queries. Okay. So that is the one I have done it with this content and all. Right. Similarly, hands-on. So we have that's what the hands-on you are going to work with. That's so I can provide some assignments also. So assignments later on you may be able to work with these assignments, right? So that that might be useful for you to understand more about that. Then similarly we have many exercises there. So each exercise what it deals with, like that I can specify each of these exercises, all the stuff. So when you talk about any exercise, so it will give you all the queries, right? Which are all the queries you are executing, and what it is doing, every query is doing. So like that, I can provide you about that one. Okay. So that is the way I have been going to work with you, and I can share some materials also. You can see that some of the materials which are all required for hands-on. So I can provide you if required, if you are interested about or if you are capable of. So we can provide some additional materials also, because Snowflake can work with many other tools together. So for those tools, and I have some small codes which you can integrate Snowflake with many other programmatic tools, right? Like Python or Java or something like that. Fine. So that is how you will be signing into Snowflake, right? So when you are registering with Snowflake for trial version, you will receive a URL. This is your URL, right? So you have to provide a kind of username and password so that you will be able to get into this one, right? So that's the way it goes. So similarly, what you do, you can see that here, right? So we have databases. So these are the databases I have created earlier, right? So when you go into, so this is a sample database Snowflake is providing. So these are the tables available inside that one, right? So you can see a lot of tables are there. Okay, so when you go into any kind of a table, so it will give you all the information about that. Okay, so that is the thing. Similarly, when you go to the table, I'm sorry, when you go inside this table here, just I'm sorry, I'm clicking somewhere. Okay, so these are the tables we have now. So here, if you select this table, right, any one of the table you are selecting it, so you are able to load data, you are drop them, you are able to clone your data. Okay, I'll tell you cloning what it is. So you can create a new table or create like an existing table, like that they have the information available, right? So schemas also, any number of schemas can be created inside your database, right? Similarly, we have some other views. You know that what are views? I hope people who are working on databases, exactly the same thing only, views also. So apart from that, we have stages, we have file format, sequences, pipes. So these are some of the objects, right? Not the entire objects there. These are just some of the objects Snowflake is having. Okay, so I'll be dealing with each and every one of these uh, things there, right? So every one of these option we will be seeing about how each of them you can access and how to work with each of these things. Okay, so remember, Snowflake is a cloud data warehouse tool. It's a cloud-based one from the scratch. So they will be keep on updating themselves, right? So they will release a new version every month. Okay, every month at the start of the month they release a new version. So sometimes you may have very small changes which will not affect your existing tools and all coding. Sometimes they may uh, provide you a very bigger, uh, very big kind of. So you can go to the Snowflake documents. You see that. So there are a lot of information here. So one of them is release notes, right? So they are telling about what changes they are doing on each month, right? From the beginning, you can see that. From the beginning, 2015, they started. So you can see 2015, what was the changes happening one by one, one by one. So I was working from 2018 onwards. Okay. So I can see the big difference there. Many tools, many features, what we are working today was not there that time. So they have included many of them. And some of these tools behaviors also change. That's what they are mentioning here. Okay. So you can see those things later on. That is not a problem here. Okay. You can do that later. So when we work here, just a minute. Okay, I lost that. So here you can see I have some PPTs where it can tell you about the data warehouse, the introduction to data warehouse, introduction to cloud data warehouse, right? And about the Snowflake introduction. So all these stuff I'm having here. So I will be explaining you about how these things are working, right? So you can see that first data warehouse architecture, how it is happening, and how this can be the same architecture, how it can be replaced with the Snowflake. Okay, that also I will show you about. So what is cloud computing is about, right? Then about the Snowflake. So what are the features available in Snowflake, and how you are going to work with Snowflake here. So what type of architecture Snowflake is following, called as hybrid database architecture. Okay, so these are the things, and how Snowflake becomes a most prominent solution provider for huge data, right? So data, when you talk about huge data, earlier databases, then relational databases, RDBMS, that become a normal thing. Then data warehouse, it becomes you can deal with huge amount of data, and that also is not enough. And we implemented big data, right? So you'd have heard about big data, some of you. So right, so we have a Hadoop and other systems, all that. So where you can work with big data environment. So Snowflake replaces everything. Whatever you have seen before, Snowflake can be a database, normal relational database, right? Even though you cannot use it for OLTP purpose, right? I'll tell you why later on. Uh, you can use as a normal database. You can use as a data warehouse system. You can use how you are working with big data, right? So I have seen that many people, Hive is one of the database used on big data environment. So from Hive, people have migrated the data into this one. Okay, so because whatever big data is doing, so Snowflake also can do, right? So how you deal with semi-structured data, okay, that is what the biggest challenge normally in a relational table is a flat table where you cannot uh, work with flat tables, right? I will show those examples later about that. Okay, so this flat table can address data in one single dimension, that means in one single level only. But these semi-structured data can address the data in a hierarchical manner. Okay, multiple levels together, one by one, you can arrange these levels over there. So that way, you can specify in Snowflake also. Okay, Snowflake can handle them in a very simple manner, structured and semi-structured data together. Okay, that is what the main thing. It can handle them together. You can make a relationship between a structured and semi-structured data, which is not at all possible in many other tools, right? And very easily and in a very effective manner, you are able to query them, right? Very easily you can query them. You don't need to learn new languages, right? So only one language, structured query language, SQL. SQL is the only language you should know when you are working with Snowflake. Okay, you don't require many kind of other fancy languages and all, right? So when you are talking about data warehouse, you may require MDX in many OLAP tools, right? So you may require some uh, uh, what do you call customized or proprietary languages and all. So not required here, right? You don't require. These are all, I'm sorry, Snowflake is following the standard ANSI SQL, right? Standard ANSI SQL means that is the SQL type of query which has been followed in many tools, right? So right from Oracle to everyone, they follow that one. So Snowflake also follow this standard. Apart from ANSI, standard ANSI, they have their own some additional advanced queries also there. Okay, so we will see that one entire set of things and all this stuff together. So what I am doing here is I'll be giving you a small glimpse about the Snowflake. You can see that. So the architecture and how this is working, because working structure is very important. So whatever whatever your role may be, you may be a developer or you may be an admin, right? Or a ETL developer, right? So data engineer, whatever it is. So you need to understand even if you are a BI developer also, so you are working on some kind of tools like Tableau, Power BI or something like that. So that also you should understand how Snowflake is working, right? How Snowflake is working in the background, so that the architecture, if you are familiar with that, then you can take the best out of it, right? Very simple actually, because when you talk about cloud services, three type of cloud services that I was just showing you here, right? So three type of cloud services. One is infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, software as a service. Okay, three type of cloud services there. How much participation you are giving, or how much participation the cloud provider is providing. So that is the difference between these types of cloud. Okay, Snowflake falls into software as a structure. That means that it provides you the infrastructure, it provides you the platform to work with, and it provides you the software to work with also. So entire thing is being provided by Snowflake. What we need to do is we just take our data, put it over there, It will give the better performance than other tools, and we will use it. That's all. Okay. So very simply, you are able to work with Snowflake. Okay. So that's the kind of tool it is. That's why they are telling it here. No infrastructure knobs or tuning. Right. That means that you don't need to tune anything. You don't need to worry about anything. Right. Infrastructure management, no. Data storage management, no. Metadata management also is no. Automatically, it will maintain all the metadata and it can provide you about that. Query optimization also not at all required, right? It is not at all required. It will suggest you the best way of executing your query, and it will do it in the background also. Okay, so very excellent tool actually. Really, if you are learning here, right? So that's going to be a very good thing about. So I can provide you some kind of these type of tools also I am providing here for you. So this is how I provide you. So how the warehouses are working. Warehouses means these are all called as virtual machines. Okay, don't confuse with data warehouse. These are called as virtual machines. So how they are working in different scenarios, how they work. So what you require, how do you need to configure them. So this and all I am just going to tell you about this on the training time, right? So that's the way it goes. And similarly, I am able to guide you for getting a certification also if you are interested on that, right? So any questions you have, guys? Hello?
Hello.
Yeah, yes, Swati.
Yeah. You were covering the SQL concepts also, right?
Yes, if required, I cover those things. That will be a separate thing only, because in this one it is not that. That is a little additional days we require, additional time. So I will be covering separately if it is required.
Okay. Okay.
As
And
for Chandra and all people like Chandra, so they require it definitely. But you already working on SQL and all, na? So maybe it is basic things are enough. It is not you need to be an expert to learn these things.
okay. Okay. Yeah. And one more thing, Murali. There is need to learn any other combination courses.
Along with Snowflake, what you need to learn? That's what you are asking.
Yeah. Actually, I learned AWS. It is
Uh,
suitable for Snowflakes and AWS.
No, when you want to learn Snowflake, you require SQL. That's all. You should know about SQL queries. That's it. You don't need to learn AWS. AWS is nothing is coming here from AWS, right? Snowflake utilizes AWS. That's all. So you don't need to learn AWS, or you don't need to learn any other cloud service too, right? You need a little bit of knowledge about that. I will tell you what is required and what required. You don't require any knowledge about cloud.
Yeah. Thank you, Murali.
Right? Yeah, SQL queries are important because we are going to work with SQL queries only. So that is very important. So you need to learn about what is a database, what is a data warehouse, and what is SQL. So these three questions, if you are able to answer in a very easier manner, then that's fine.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. Any other questions you have, guys?
So SQL is means it is prerequisite to learn this course, sir. SQL language.
Yes, definitely, Chandra. So you that's what you can contact Srija, so she can tell you about how to learn SQL. So we have another course there for you. So we can provide you one more course. Not much time it will take, so you can learn it easily. Only you require the passion about learning, so you can do it,
Oh,
right?
oh,
That's the thing.
okay, sir.
Basic. These are basic because when you come to Snowflake, we may not have time for going for the basic of why. For example, if I'm executing a select statement, I cannot explain what a select statement is doing, right? Similarly, if you do a
Yes.
insert statement, I cannot explain that time what insert statement is doing, right? So that is not possible normally. Okay. So normally
Oh,
we do it from 30 to 40 hours. 30 to 40 hours is the normal time duration for this training. So if you require additional time, we can extend it, and that you can ask, talk with the admin people, so they can help you about how you can do it, right? So I do training
okay.
on whatever data related, all this stuff I'm doing training. Cloud, many other tools also I'm doing, right? So SQL queries also I can help you with how to do it.